Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. Today we have the Spider-Man Spider Sense action figure from Spider-Man 2 the movie. This was requested by Young Dexter quite a while ago. I went through a Dragon Ball Z series and some other figures, so I'm happy to be getting to this one now. Thank you so much for the request. I hope you enjoy this figure. And I know it's been a couple weeks since I posted a video, but we were out of town, and so I plan on posting about 3 over the next 5-6 days. So let's go ahead and get started with this one. It's an interesting figure, the first of this kind that I've opened. He does several different things, so we'll walk through the figure first and then we'll walk through all the extra features. First, to start off with the packaging up here, we've got Spider-Man from Spider-Man 2 the Doc Ock movie. It came out in the early 2000s. Got the movie title here. Features light up eyes, so we got the figure here. And then behind him, it is a Spider Sense Spider-Man with a Tentacle attack base. And so these will pretty much close in on him, and then he will avoid the attack at the last second. This figure's a little bit older. I did buy the batteries that are needed for it, so hopefully everything works like it's supposed to. Once we get it out, get the batteries in, we'll figure out how it works together. I've not done this before, so patience is appreciated. And real quick, let's see the back of the figure. So we've got a little bit of detail here talking about how Spider-Man got his powers. I kind of zoom into this, so if anybody wants to read it, feel free to pause and read through that. And then we have the instructions here, which we'll have to follow closely. Some details about the batteries, and then the other figures in the set. So we have this one, there is Scooter Spider-Man, and there is also Doc Ock. But we're gonna go ahead and get this opened up. Let's see, we might need a knife for this, but maybe not. Okay, I guess we don't. It's coming up pretty easy. And this is kind of the first figure of our renewed Spider-Man series. We have Electro coming up soon, a different Green Goblin, and then Carnage is also on the way. So that's a figure that several have asked about, and if you asked about Carnage, I'll be sure to give you a shout out in that video. And I'm also going to place a link to Jake Allen's channel. So that's Jake Allen. He did a video a couple weeks ago showing his Dragon Ball Z Irwin figures. And so I think any of you guys who have enjoyed my Irwin figures will definitely like to see his collection. He's got some good ones, and I believe there'll be more videos coming up in the future as well, but I will post a link to his channel in the description down below, so go check that out, subscribe, and then give him the same support you've given me. Really nice guy. So we'll go ahead and get these zip ties off of the Spider-Man. Might be easier if we pull the figure out. So we're gonna take this and set it off to the side, not too far away, because we'll need it for the instructions. But here is the figure, just kind of close. So get the zip ties out, and then we'll go through all this. The video might be a little bit longer because it has some more features, but if you want to get past this part, just feel free to jump forward in the video. I always like to go through the full opening with you guys though. Some people enjoy watching that, and I always want to make sure you get the full experience of the figure being unboxed. So we'll go ahead and get this out. And then one thing I mentioned about more videos coming up this week. So on top of loving these different animes and mangas, I was also a huge fan of Harry Potter growing up, and we have some Harry Potter trading cards, which we will actually be unboxing. Some of these are pretty rare, only limited amounts were produced, but I was able to get my hands on a box, or actually several of them. And so I'll be doing unboxing videos of that, and those will come out later this week too. So we will go ahead and get this figure out, if the zip tie lets us. There we go. And then we will get that off his leg, and I can already tell this figure has a ton of articulation. So let me go ahead and move some of these pieces out of our way. And then let's go ahead and look at this Spider-Man. So He immediately, you can tell right off the bat, he's a little bit darker than the other figures that we've done, but it is true to the movie. You can see the details here. So there's his face. I love the detail right there with the webbing, the logo, and then even on this navy part, you can see all the little details. And so his head does turn, and then his arm goes up, his shoulder comes out, elbow, even his wrist. So you can see here he's got his hands in the position ready to shoot out. Some webbing, and then even here his wrist goes back and forth, and then same thing here. Tons and tons of articulation and options. Back of the elbow. Again, here you can see his wrist. He turns at the hips, and he's got this little ball joint here right under his hip, and then he bends here at the knee, and then at the ankle, and then also the toe. And I think all of this is designed to go with the wall that he comes with, so you can actually position him on the wall properly. And then right here in the back is what we will put onto the wall piece, and that's what's actually going to launch him off. But while we're on the back, here's the red spider logo, and again you can see the detailed webbing and all the details running down the pant leg. So I'm going to set him down for just a minute, and then we are going to get this giant piece out of here, and then we're going to get these tentacles out as well. So this seems pretty straightforward, but you never know until you actually do it. So hopefully we won't have too much trouble with this. And then we are going to get these out. And so these are the Doc Ock tentacles, which is really neat. They're a little bendy, a little more flexible up at the top than they are throughout the base. So we got 4 of those. Set that off to the side. And then here we have our wall. And so this is where we'll place Spider-Man. That hole that was on his back, we'll put it on here. The tentacles will be inserted here, and then we will set a timer, and when this timer goes off, the tentacles will close in and the figure should jump off. Now that's what it's supposed to do. It's pretty old. Hopefully it still functions properly. I guess we won't know until we try it. But then back here is where you insert the battery, and we'll need 3 of those. So got that ready. We'll look at the instructions together here for a second. So you slide the time lever to the side as shown, and press the action button to lock the timer. Okay. And then you attach the figure and the tentacles to the base as shown. You press the action button on the back to set the tentacles in motion and trigger Spider-Man's spider senses. So his eyes will light up, and then he'll jump from the base to avoid the attack. And before we do any of that, we just need to get the batteries in here. And so give me 1 second and we will get that taken care of. So I will put the figure here in view with the tentacles, and I'm just gonna get that off behind the scenes to speed the process up. And if there are any figures from the Spider-Man movies that you guys like to see, definitely leave a comment down below. Or if there are any other Spider-Man figures you would like to see from Spider-Man the animated series. The Carnage was one that was mentioned, so we have him on the way. But if there are any others, I'd like to get a Doc Ock. I'd like to do the whole Sinister Six from the comics, do a whole series on that. They got Rhino, Sandman, the Scorpion one is pretty neat. But anything you guys would like to see, definitely just leave a comment down below, and I'm happy to look into that. And then also, if there are any Inuyasha figures you'd like to see, we did the Inuyasha series recently, and I know a lot of people enjoyed that. So this actually already has batteries in here, but I'm not sure. All right, it does work. So what that was is when you flip this moves over. So we just put it off to one side, and then we turn it on, that'll go and then launch the figure. All right, so that is good to go. So let me just go ahead and get this screw back in here, and we will be all set. Appreciate you guys' patience while we do this behind the scenes. Just want to make sure. It said that you needed batteries, but they were already in here. But I could tell the package was not open. Okay, so that's what it is. That's my mistake. It just tells you how to replace the batteries. So they do actually come in there with the figure. I'm surprised those still work. Honestly, I mean, this came out in 2004 or 5, I'd probably say. I could be wrong, but pretty sure it was at least 2004 or 5. It's been a while. But we're gonna go ahead and take these tentacles and we're gonna insert them into the base like so. One second. There we go. Sorry, I know you guys want to see this. I'm trying to keep as much of it on the camera as I possibly can, but sometimes it can be just a little bit difficult. So some of them do vary in size, so I guess they might have specific ones that they're supposed to go into. There we go. This one in here. That fits a little bit better, and then we'll get this guy in there. And so we've got all the tentacles in there. So all that's left to do is take the Spider-Man figure and get him on the wall. So let's try to kind of set this up in a way where he will fit with no problem. All right, so you can see here, once we plug the figure in, his eyes glow. And then what we're gonna do is flip that lever. And so when we flip the lever, the arms open up. And then we are going to bring the camera down and we're going to watch this thing launch our Spider-Man figure. So just 1 second. Let's bring that camera down. You guys can see, there he is. And then all we have to do is flip this on, and then it shoots him right off. So just really quickly, we will do that one more time. 1 second. So he's got a few seconds there, and I'll show you guys this again. So there's this lever on the back, so as you slide it across, so you pull it this way, it's gonna open up. So we got that open all the way. We'll take Spider-Man, so eyes aren't glowing right now, and we'll put him on the display. And then once we turn this on, you will see his eyes should light up and he will jump off of the wall to avoid the tentacles at the last second. So there's the figure. Now last time I plugged him in, his eyes came on, but again, this is a little bit older, so maybe there's just a little bit of a, what's the problem? There it is. And so it will launch him off to avoid the tentacles. So there's that figure. We're gonna set him down. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoy that. I know that's a little bit different from what we normally do, and the video is a little bit longer, but thank you so much for tuning in. We've got more Spider-Man on the way, and then we've got the Harry Potter videos on the way as well. So this one will come up tonight, and then the Harry Potter ones will be after that, followed by Electro and Green Goblin. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you next time.